Yeah. Everything okay here, Paul?
What is going on, you guys? MissedThePart here, back again with another video. So we are going to be going over Spider-Verse characters that I want to see in Spider-Verse 2. Now, I would love to see the zombie Spider-Man make an appearance, considering the fact that we've never seen him in a movie, cartoon, or any other thing other than the comic books. And zombie Spider-Man is probably just one of my favorite characters because the way that they handled the storyline, and he is one of the purest Spider-Man out there, but he's really, like, he's more of a horror kind of Spider-Man, like, you know, he's like a zombie and all this stuff, you know, people are scared of him, but like, if you really look at his backstory, you know, he did end up pretty much like sacrificing himself, and then like Sandman killed him, but it is a character that I definitely would like to see be done. And you know, it'd be really interesting how Sony would actually do zombie Spider-Man on screen. Maybe they would give him a cameo, maybe they would just throw him in there with the whole story, you know, maybe he will be able to talk, like, you know, we don't even know. And another Spider-Verse character that I want to see is the TASM Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man. Now, this is a character that I think they should give some closure to, and I think it would be a perfect opportunity to add his character in Spider-Verse 2, because, you know, if they're not making a Spider-Man 3, they should obviously throw in the Amazing Spider-Man to kind of give him the closure that he needs for the movies that he didn't get in the future. And, you know, I think that he would be a really cool character to see as well, you know, whether that's the Amazing Spider-Man 1 Spider-Man, or if that's the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man. You know, hopefully they can just like give him the closure that he needs, and then I think a lot of people would actually be really happy, because, you know, TASM was not that great, and I think a lot of people would definitely like to see the backstory just be complete, because then people would be satisfied. So that's a character that I want to see, because, you know, if they do the Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire live action thing, like, maybe it could still be that Spider-Man that goes into the live action one. You know, if they like do those kind of like Easter eggs and like tie all those together, that is a Spider-Man that I definitely want to see. And another one on my list is Spider-Carnage. Spider-Carnage is definitely one that I just love from the 90s TV show. I just love this character because the way that they pretty much did him, like, he was just completely insane, right? So that is something that I really want to see, you know, more symbiote characters like Spider-Carnage. I just want to see him go absolutely nuts on the film, you know, like, who knows what they're going to be doing, but with the art style that they have, you know, to see Spider-Carnage on screen would just be amazing. And whether if that's like the 90s one, or if that's just like a totally new Spider-Carnage, it's one that I want to see in Spider-Verse 2, and it's a character that I've always loved. So to see that in the movie would definitely be awesome, and to see like some of his symbiote powers and just see what he does on screen to other Spider-Man in the movie, like, it'd be cool, like, what he would do if he just saw like the regular Spider-Man. Like, I think he'd be pretty scared of him. And another character is the one and only Man Ps4. Now, most likely this will probably happen because, you know, we all know that Sony owns the rights now to Spider-Man Ps4, like, as in like Insomniac Games, so I would not be shocked if they added in our advanced suit Spider-Man, you know, for an Easter egg, or if he's playing a huge role in the movie, you know, like, who knows. But I think like he's definitely destined to make it to the Spider-Verse, whether that's like live action or if it's an animated movie like Spider-Verse 2. I think we're going to see him to probably bring it up in the second game. You know, I think it'd just be really cool to see how they would actually add him in there, because he's just a fresh new character of Spider-Man, kind of like a soft reboot. So to see him go into the Spider-Verse and see other Spider-Man, like, what he thinks about all of them, like, that would be really cool. And I would just love to see like his thoughts about like the Spider-Verse and like what's happening, and how his role will be in the upcoming movie, if he's in the movie at all. You know, that would just be really cool to see, because, you know, I love Spider-Man Ps4, probably one of my favorite games out there. To see him make it into the movie would just be really cool. And coming in at number 1 would have to be Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. You know why? Because it would give closure to Spider-Man 4. You know, we wouldn't need a Spider-Man 4 movie if Tobey Maguire was in the Spider-Verse 2, depending on where the timeline would be, where his Spider-Man goes into the Spider-Verse. You know, it'd have to be after Spider-Man 3, because then we can all know that like his Spider-Man, like what happened afterwards, and like they could pretty much like write him off in Spider-Verse 2 if they really wanted to. But I think, you know, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man's definitely a Spider-Man that I want to see. He's my favorite one, so I think to see him in the Spider-Verse 2 again, you know, if it's not live action, at least do it animated. You know, I think Tobey Maguire would definitely like doing this because, you know, he does have, I think he has like back problems or something, but you know, it would definitely work out for him perfectly. And I think just a lot of old time fans would, you know, come back to see the movie. And I'll know that, like, I know that a lot of people would definitely pay to see it if, you know, they knew that Tobey Maguire was in the movie. And, you know, Sony likes to make money, so that's what they're out there to do. And, you know, if they're going to put Tobey Maguire in the movie, the movie's going to make money. You know, that's just about it. So honorable mentions do go to, like, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, the Scarlet Spider, Six-Armed Spider-Man, Robot Spider-Man, Alex Ross's Spider-Man, the Superior Spider-Man, and probably the black symbiote suit Spider-Man, and Captain Universe. You know, those are some ones that didn't make it on my list, but if it was a top 10 list that I've done, I definitely would have added those characters in the list, but, you know, they just didn't make it. So what's your thoughts on the Spider-Verse 2 characters that I want to see? Do you guys agree with my list, or do you guys have a different opinion? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you guys are new to the channel, do make sure you subscribe, like, share, and turn your notifications on so you and your friends can stay all up to date with the latest content. But anyways, as always, peace out.